call attention to meeting to order of the Ascension Parish Zoning Commission. Let the record show that all commissioners are present. At this time, we'll go ahead and open up the public comment period. Anyone wishing to speak on an item that's not up for public hearing, please come up and sign in. You get your opportunity to address the commission. No one wishing to speak. Okay, we have item 4 on the agenda, acceptance of minutes of the August 9th, 2006 Zoning Commission meeting.
Make a motion to accept.
Second. I have a motion by Steve Barrow, seconded by Scott Courtwright to accept. Is there any opposition?
I'm going to abstain. I was not here at the meeting.
I have one abstention, Mr. Julio Dumas. Motion passes. Item 5A, zoning review ID 1572.06, portion of Tract Y for Swamp Road Partners, LLC.
Good evening, Carl Leader with Alvin Fairburn and Associates, here tonight representing Swamp Road Partners, LLC. We're asking that y'all consider the rezoning from MU to RM to MU of the western portion of Tract Y. I'm here to answer any questions.
Questions or comments from the commission?
What is the purpose of your rezoning?
The purpose for the rezoning, they're proposing to do a small business park development there.
Are there existing homes surrounding this area?
Do you have a map of this?
I do.
Okay. The closest residence beside the residence that's shown on Tract Y would be not the adjacent lot to this property, but one lot over, traveling westward down Swamp Road.
What's on the adjacent lot?
It's vacant, and my client owns it.
Okay, the house, I'm sorry. There's the bank and then the house. And the house is what's looking to be rezoned, correct?
The house will be demoed, and there's a small portion of the house now that we're asking to be rezoned, but most of the residence is already zoned MU.
Okay, and then you've got a good-sized ditch, and then there's a residence.
We have a buffer, a ditch, green area, and then there's a residence. That's right.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? At this time, we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. Anyone wishing to come up and speak on this property, come sign in with the secretary, and you'll have your opportunity to speak. Okay, no one wishing to speak. Comments, questions from the commission? Well, I've got a couple. While I understand your client's desire to go ahead and get this property rezoned, the way it stands right now, I mean, it's still usable and viable just as it is. Also, going and looking out there at this piece of property along with Swamp Road and knowing the existing conditions that are on Swamp Road, I don't see it where it would be in the best interest of the parish at this time to go ahead and rezone this property. That's my personal opinion.
Sure, understood.
And I don't really see it being, we're not looking at a 51% rule here, or we could say we are, but in reverse. Because what you are, you can't base your request for rezoning on the smaller portion being mixed use.
Sure.
I just don't feel that bringing commercial back this far on Swamp Road would help any of the situation that's currently existing. That's my personal opinion.
Understood.
Lance? North of Swamp Road, directly across the street from this property, that whole area, that's all commercial? All the way to Webb Road?
No.
No, sir. There's some property just directly across the street from here. There's a residence that's on the corner of Webb Road and Swamp Road, just on the north east side. And then there is like an e-tail site, and then from that point on, where there was an existing auto salvage yard, that is zoned commercial to that point. From there, going back north to east toward Airline.
So with the exception of those two parcels, everything north of that and everything east of that is commercial. Can I show you?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see as well.
All I have is an aerial photograph. I'm just going to give it to him and ask him to point it out to us on the screen. Can you point that out? This is what I'm thinking, just these two. Oh, good. I looked it up on the internet and printed it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, it's just kind of hard to look at. Yeah, it's going to be tough to look at it from here. This is the property. This map does not reflect the new. This map does not reflect the new subdividing of property, and the home's right here. So the lot pretty much looks like it cuts around up in here. So there, the property is basically from this point to probably about somewhere up in here. Huh, Carl? Think so?
That's correct. This
Okay.
would be this.
Would be the track X.
This building here is just the shed.
Okay, and
This is the residence.
All right, so you're looking at everything on this side. This is that track X that Carl said that they retained or that they subdivided out to, and this would be RM, and the line would cut to here. The property that is zoned commercial is this property right here. So you're probably looking at roughly, I would say, 60 to 100, maybe not even 100 feet from this point to here, where the existing zoning is commercial across the street.
It's just about the width of that road.
But if,
I'm sorry. So what you're telling me is that about 60 feet of the frontage across the street is residential, but the rest of it is commercial?
I'm not telling you that, but I'm saying that's pretty close.
Yeah, pretty.
I don't know that-
Approximately.
I don't know that number. Yes.
Okay. Lance, you concur?
Yes, sir. It's close.
Other comments or questions from commissioners?
if this was developed, the traffic would have to come out on Swamp Road?
I'm sorry, say that again?
If this was developed, the traffic would come out on Swamp Road?
Most definitely.
Okay. Does this get open to public?
Oh, already did a public
Oh,
hearing.
did-
Nobody wanted to speak.
Sure, definitely.
If there are no more comments or questions from commissioners, what's the wish of the commission?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a move to deny this because it does not fall in the 51% rule. It is zoned, it is zoned medium intensity, and that would be in the best interest of the property, the best usage of the property.
Second that. I have a motion to deny by Sherry Slyman, seconded by Mike Bardwell. Is there any opposition? Motion passes.
Thank y'all.
Item 5B, zoning review ID 1573.06, Lot 3C, re-subdivision of a portion of Lot 8 for...
That was-
No, that was pulled. That's the one that was pulled. Yeah, where's my revised agenda? Well, doesn't matter. 5C, zoning review ID 1574.06, lot MB-1 of the Mary Button property for Harvey Weber.
My name's Harvey Weber. I live at 44456 Stringer Bridge Road. It's right across from the Santa Monica Fire Department. I moved here 8 years ago and bought a piece of property. It was 9.4 acres on the north side of Stringer Bridge. And I was, I guess, the second or third new house there. And at that time, it was zoned commercial, residential commercial, and just recently we decided to sell a house, and when we put it up for sale, Miss Kathy Lambert was the realtor, and she had a buyer for it, and when we went to sell it, the guy asked to buy it, and we went to check on it, and we found out it was zoned commercial, and the guy wanted to put a granite cutting facility. I have in the back of my house, I have a big barn. It's like a 50 by 75 barn, and he was going to use the barn to cut granite. Well, we went to Mr. Lance Rock and asked him about it, and when he reviewed it, he said they couldn't do it because there was a problem with noise, dust, and chemicals. Well, the guy brought the figures in, said there was no dust because he was using water. There was no chemicals because he was using water, and there was no noise because the machine doesn't make that much noise. So anyway, we went back to the commission and whatever, and it got turned down again, saying it was industrial. And I guess I'm not saying that it should be rezoned for industrial reasons. I'm saying that there has to be some kind of limit. Somebody's going to build a small business in their barn and not even tell the commission they're doing it. You know, they might build boats back there. They might build something else. I mean, the guy could have went back there if he wanted to. The house is expensive. I mean, it's an expensive house, so he wasn't going to invest it without doing it, without putting out the checking on it now. But he could have took the thing and went back there and built the plant. I mean, a small. It was not a plant. It's just cutting granite, and he could have did that and not told anybody and probably got away with it. Maybe got fined, and that's about all. So I'm saying, I guess there should be something between industrial and small business, because I mean, when I built the building, I used it for a warehouse I had a grocery store in Reserve in St. John Parish, and I used it for a warehouse, and I used it for a business. I mean, nobody said anything. Right down the street, Shane Martinez has a building. He uses it to sell pots. He makes he welds stuff and everything else, and he got 18 wheelers going in and out of there. And I'm just wondering, you know, what's the difference, you know, and asking that it be rezoned to something in between industrial and commercial, I mean, and residential.
Okay, any comments or questions from the commission?
Lance, can you clarify what we're going from and to here? Because we have.
Yeah, I just saw that. The request was from rural to crossroad commercial. So it is, the application does state crossroad commercial.
Thank you.
Lance, can you have a granite cutting business in the Crossroad commercial?
No, sir. But he's not going. But no, sir. No.
Well, if there are no other comments or questions, I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing.
Can I make one more comment, please? The guy did say, I mean, the guy did not buy the house. I mean, he got turned down, so he left. He went to another parish. But I'm just saying, you know, that's what I'm faced with in selling my house. I can't sell to somebody who's going to do a small business without going through the parish, you know. So.
All right. At this time, we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. Anyone wishing to come up and speak on this property, please come and sign in with the parish, with the secretary.
Joseph Hurt.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, my name is Joseph Hurt. I live in Alderman Place subdivision, adjacent on the west side of the property that's proposed for the rezoning. Our subdivision, our community is a really new community to Santa Maria, and it's made up of mostly young families, a lot of young children. And it's a pretty extraordinary community. We have a lot of functions, a lot of family functions, neighborhood functions. And we're really opposed to any of the adjacent property being zoned for commercial. We have a neighborhood that's really unique, kind of like when we were kids. You can let your kids go out and play and not have to worry about them. And, you know, first and foremost, you know, it's a residential community right there. Second is the safety and security of our children and our homes. Making something commercial, there's no guarantee of what that would bring down the road, and this guy might buy it, and then the next guy might buy it, and no telling what you have. You might have a beer joint there or something. So we're really against that, and we want to keep it the way it is. And we have a great community there, and we want to keep it that way. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Charles Hunt.
My name is Charles Hunt. I live immediately to the west of the subdivision Joe just talked about. I was one of the first houses on that side of the street. I've been there 10 years. I have 10 acres of land there, and I am opposed to commercializing any portion of that. There are houses across the street next to the fire department, to that subdivision. There's houses further down. There's houses in back of that piece of property he's wanting to turn commercial, and I'm opposed to it being turned commercial. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dennis Causey.
I'm Dennis Causey. I'm also opposed to it. I live on the north side of his property. We have a nice backyard. We'd like to keep it that way. And all the rest of the folks along the street feel the same way. Also, there's a question, if this is amended and became commercial, you know, we have no idea what it would become. And it is almost directly across from the fire department, if that might cause problems too. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Nicole Roper.
Hi, my name is Nicole Roper, and I live directly next to the property in question. And my objection to it being zoned commercial is because it is my understanding as a rural property, we are already allowed to have small businesses, such as if you wanted a barber shop or some other type of a grocery, just maybe not distribution, but a storage area or something like that. So opening it up to a crossroad commercial would definitely open up our community to much more traffic and just a lot of unsavory people. I mean, I know we never know who our neighbors are. You don't know who's going to move in, but you also never know who's going to be working at a company next door to you, and the safety of our children come into play. Like I said, a small business, a lot of people have small businesses outside of their home, and I as I understand it, that's already allowed in the rural zoning, and I have no problem with that. I just think if we open the door to a crossroad commercial, we're opening ourselves up to a can of worms that may not be good for the Santa Maria community. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it? Sir, you want to come back up? Any other comments or questions from commissioners?
Mr. Chair, this is about as textbook example of spot zoning as you could possibly find. There is absolutely no rational basis for, for rezoning this piece of property and its location. I'm going to move for denial. Recommend that we deny.
Have a motion by Julio Dumas to deny.
Second.
Second by Paige Becknell. Is there any opposition or discussion? Motion passes. Item 5D, zoning review ID 1576.06, Lot 6 in the Robert Willis Wilson tract for Robert Wilson Jr.
This is right next to Cabela's, across the street from Cabela's. Horizontal piece of property right there.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, or good night, really.
I'm sorry.
It's late in the evening, and hate keeping you guys this late, but I guess we have to do it. I am Ronnie Como with Gully Phelps McKee Real Estate. I represent the Wilson family on the rezoning of their property on Robert Wilson Road at Highway 30. I don't know if there's any questions that you might ask to for some knowledge on this property. You also have a packet. If you'd like, we have some other information that might be good for you if you'd like to share it with us.
I have a question. Is Robert Wilson Road the edge of the city of Gonzales limits?
Yes, sir, it is.
What?
The edge of the city of Gonzales, the city boundary, the city line.
Yeah.
And we actually have that, the zoning, I don't know what you guys have, but we have a good comprehensive look at the property and the zoning surrounding it, if y'all would like this.
Put it on the projector in front of you, sir.
Yeah.
Ooh, Lord.
Why don't you turn it so we can, there you go.
Can you see the property here at the corner? It's immediately across from St. Landry Road.
Yeah.
And immediately next door to Tanger Mall. And it's actually going to be across the street from the new Cabela's. It is presently zoned as business park. And I guess we just soon tell you what the use is going to be. It's going to be for a hotel. Actually, supposedly a Hampton, which is in the Hilton family, which would be a quality hotel. Should be 80 rooms. It's going to create tax revenues for the parish of $236,000. Very fine quality hotel. Put in 40 jobs and $300,000 annually in salaries for the employees there. If there's any other questions that I could hopefully answer for you guys, I'd love to.
On one side of your property, if you're looking at the property, I believe it's on the right side, it looks like there's some residential, some trailers.
On the right side?
It was actually the lot next next to that property, as we understood the property.
Yeah, as we-
Closer to Tanger, the next.
Yes,
Those
ma'am.
those are lots, actually, and it's vacant land right now.
Okay.
Okay.
They're talking about these lots right here.
Any other comments or questions?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's vacant.
That's all vacant.
That's also zone C1, the city of Gonzales.
Yeah, that's all C1 around on the City of Gonzales side.
If we have no other comments or questions, I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing on this. Anyone wishing to come up and speak on this piece of property, please come and sign in. You'll get you 3 minutes to speak. Okay, no one wishing to speak. Comments or questions?
Mr. Chair, I'm going to go ahead and take the stab at a motion. I'm going to recommend approval, make a motion to recommend approval of the requested rezoning. This is consistent with the Tanger Outlet Mall to the east. And certainly the Cabela's is immediately to the south. There's a gas station to the south and other very intense businesses, so this would be very consistent.
Have a motion to approve by Julio Dumas.
Second.
Second by Steve Barrow. Is there any opposition or discussion? Motion passes.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, we have item 7A, which is a public hearing to consider the following business park standards. 7A zoning review ID 1577 for Cossin Equipment.
My name is Brian Aguilar. Me and Mr. J.B. Easterly designed a commercial building for Mr. Cossin here, Cossin Equipment. I think his business, well, I know his business is generators, and that's what it'll be, selling generators. We've sent all of the plans, have been reviewed by all the agencies, Fire Marshal, Ascension Parish, DOTD, Board of Health, and we've gotten a few comments back and have addressed those from CSRS. Had a couple comments. A DOTD driveway must be obtained. That's been done. Everything that they've addressed we've complied with. We have complied with all of the business park development standards, and we're just asking for acceptance for the project.
Comments or questions from the commission?
That's what O'Neill.
No. These are not up. Site plan review or business park standards is not up for public hearing.
I'll go ahead and move that we approve.
Based on what?
Compliance with the standards.
Thank you for going ahead and stating it.
Second.
I have a motion to approve by Mike Bardwell, seconded by Paige Becknell. Is there any opposition or discussion? Motion passes.
Thank you.
We thank the council.
We have item 7B, zoning review ID 1594.06 for Petron.
Hello, I'm Jim Nugent with Petron, and we've submitted plans and have requested zoning compliance with a building on industrial plex. going to be used as a warehouse, 40,000 square foot.
Comments or questions from the commission? Commission has no comments or questions. What's the wish of the commission?
Make a motion to approve the business park standards as they are.
I have a motion by Steve Barrow to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Julio Dumas. Is there any opposition or discussion? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item 8, public hearing to consider a neighborhood overlay district. 8A Louisiana Roofing Center.
Hi. We're requesting a review. We are getting ready to, or we've applied for permits to build a building. It's already zoned commercial, and it's part of the overlay district, we understand. We have been talking to Lance and have submitted everything that's required as far as we know, and we're requesting that y'all review it and approve it for us.
Comments or questions from commissioners?
I have a couple questions.
Okay.
On the north side of the property where you've got the little arrows showing where your trucks are going to come in,
Mhm.
and then they're going to go around behind the property?
Right.
How do they come back out?
We're going to go around the other side and come back out.
Okay. Okay. The arrows don't go that way, so I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Okay. That's one question. And then all the existing buildings and lean-tos and everything else you have on the property now?
Will all be removed when we finish construction.
Everything will be?
Yes.
Okay. On your plat, the little spaces in the front, those are parking spots?
Yes.
How many do you have?
Oh, I didn't bring the drawing with me. I don't know off the top of my head, but we have
I have
enough
the drawing, but it's got some little numbers in the circles, and
there's definitely sufficient parking for what for what's required by the parish. Lance reviewed that. Need to make sure that we did meet the requirements.
the reason I ask is because I counted 18 vehicles on your property this morning, and when I look at this, I'm not sure you've got enough, and that's why I was wondering.
Well, we have just a tremendous amount of land there, and you know, whatever they tell us to put, we're going to put in, and we have just, you know, whatever's required, we're going to put in.
Well, they also tell you not to unload your trucks on the road, but y'all do.
Well, we're not when the new building is built.
I see 48 on the 48.
You count that?
Yeah, I see that
Okay.
on there. It shows 48 on there. I see a 48 on there because it continues to the next side also. So.
Okay. Oh, and your dumpster. Where's that going to go?
Isn't it located on their lands?
Where is it?
On the south side.
Okay, it is accounted for? Okay, and one more, the fence. Is the fence in the front going away, or will that stay?
No, we're going to have a fence.
You will have a fence?
Yes.
Okay.
Real minor, but on A-2, you've got your landscape specifications and your landscape plan. In the little chart at the top, it says there's 6 crepe myrtles, 1 green ash, 1 swamp red maple, and 2 not all oaks. But on the drawing, it's all crepe myrtle.
Okay, we'll address that.
Scott, we'll get a site plan and with him with revisions, and we'll put that in the file.
Well, just as a point of suggestion, the green ash and the swamp red maple are not going to perform in that situation. So you may, as a suggestion, just because I do this every day, you may want to remove the green ash and the swamp red maple because it's not going to work for you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions from commissioners? What's the wish of the commission?
I would like to make a motion to approve because it does fit the business park standards, and I think it's going to look very nice down there.
I have a motion to approve by Sherry Slyman.
Second.
Second by Scott Courtwright. Is there any opposition or discussion? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item 9, public hearing for definition. 9A, bed and breakfast.
I think everybody's got a copy. This is exactly what we wanted, right? This is what I was told to draft. That's it.
Let's see.
Y'all can change it because it's only the public hearing, but
Are you going to act as the public too?
no, I'm not. I'm just, I draft.
Lance.
In fact, there is an ordinance that's already been drawn up. I don't know. Because it's just adding a new definition into the tables,
Looks good.
the definitions.
I think it's everything that we wanted, unless.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I
Sorry, is public comment over?
I think we still have to go through the formalities.
Whatever. Hit your gavel, man. Let's go.
I don't want O'Neill to get up and say.
No.
There's nobody here.
Nobody's here.
Public's not here.
On live TV.
Well,
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. I have a motion to approve the definition for a B&B as presented. By Scott Courtwright. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Paige Becknell. Is there any opposition discussion? Motion passes. All right. Item 10, new business. Anybody have any new business? Okay, item 11, old business. No old business. Item 12, subcommittee report.
Meeting in 2 weeks, 6 o'clock. 2 weeks from tonight. Zoning subcommittee. That's the end of my report, Mr. Chairman.
Dinner provided.
Okay, item 13. I know that's what y'all been waiting
Motion
for.
to adjourn.
I have a motion by Scott Courtwright to adjourn, seconded by Steve Barrow. Is there any opposition or discussion?